From the United States and around the world, you're watching MNN, the Men's Channel. Today on MNN, why marriage defeats the concept of real love. I take thee to be my temporary wife, to have on loan for bitter made worse, that my riches will become soon yours, till debt do us part.
Good morning, and welcome to MNN, the channel that services the world's male population. Before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, and become a monthly member of this channel. And now, to my commentary, entitled, For the Love or Money. While most celebrity marriages are about as fake as breast implants. Gentlemen, understand for 1 minute that marriage in its current form is nothing more than a legally binding redistribution of a man's wealth. There are 5 different points of redistribution that ultimately come about until a man becomes busted, broken, and grim. Now, these 5 points, as I give you, have absolutely nothing to do with love, but everything to do with why women see these men as human beings. Not, but they see them as ATM machines. I give you them in order now from 1 to 5. Number 1, passive wealth redistribution of income. This occurs mainly during the dating portion of the relationship. Number 2, active wealth redistribution of income. This occurs during the marriage. Number 3, assigned wealth redistribution of income. This takes place during and after the divorce. It includes divorce proceedings, residual death of income with alimony, child support, and monthly maintenance fees on that divorce decree. And lastly, 5, and ultimately, eternal wealth redistribution of income, or the guy is deceased. In all these celebrity relationships, the more the male got serious about loving this wife or woman, the more he stood to lose, not to gain. This is weird. Today's celebrities are more miserable in marriage than their female counterparts, as evidenced in the case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. We know this despite all of the evidence from surveys to the contrary, because most of those surveys are done for women in women's magazines. These men simply could not understand why a woman would promise to love, honor, and cherish, and then simply renege on each promise for a relationship based on antagonism, violence with them, and rationing out of sex to their own husbands as if he was a pimp. Through these celebrity comparisons, the case is made that the wife is merely seeking to advance her wealth grab before, during, and after the relationship. It's not about marriage, it's about convenience. Now, typically after the 6th month of marriage, most men find themselves completely dissatisfied after finding they are stuck in a loveless relationship. A relationship where he stands to lose his shirt to the person who faked she loved him, and not an outside inmate. At least he could have seen that coming from a long distance. Now, most of the celebrity wives erroneously believe that their husbands have no experience in true love, but they would be wrong. By the time the well-raised boy reaches 18 years of age, he has had almost 2 decades of a good example of what real love is. This was modeled on evidence in the way his mother loved him unconditionally. Most guys have this. Even men are shocked to find out that their reason they grow dissatisfied in marriage is not because the relationship lacks sex, or not because it lacks spontaneity, but because it lacks real relationship at all. Let me take a brief look at what the celebrity's once boy received from his relationship to his mother that his wife lacks. As I said before, his mother loved him unconditionally, unlike his future bride. She does not like her boy because he has money or his future earnings. In actuality, she will be the first and last woman in his life that will take care of him for his every financial need on her own salary, without any pullback, repayment, and in most cases, any regret. She does not scheme on how to cheat her son out of his future earnings. Neither does she seek to get him in trouble with the court system or get him arrested by the law, by court of police. Her love always finds a way to forgive him for his wrongs, and in most cases overlooks most of his slights, even though there are many. She does not live to nag him or put him down on a daily basis like his future wife will. So, ladies, don't tell these men that they have no concept of what true love is, because they do, and they know they're not receiving it from you. Because of their mother, most little boys have experienced a woman's love that they will never see again. Most any male to female relationship he will experience after his 18th birthday will be equivalent to the old mafia shakedown routine, and nothing more. As in, you give me what I want from you, or I will burn everything down, all of your possessions. In a woman finding a celebrity she wants to fleece, she first must look for a financial mark who is searching for real love. Now, to mark her territory, she takes a picture with him to show her rather enviable friends that this is my property, this is my mark, this is my shakedown. Prior to any real commitment, if this man does not recognize her as a sexual love disguised as real love, she will proceed to the next stage. Now, in the next stage, she will prepare to saddle him with a baby because he has an income, as this is the only physical anchor she can leverage in a loveless relationship before, during, and definitely after the marriage. Use a child. To get him to take the bait, she must first build up his confidence in a relationship that is about as hollow as a donut hole. So, for as long as it takes to convince him of false sincerity, she will cook for him, clean for him, and pretend to support him. She will even feign more than a passive listen to his future goals and aspirations in life. He has extra money to spend, and he has a savings in his bank account with low debt. The mark is identified and secured in what is known as the passive theft of income, or dating stages. This is the first time he will be made to pay her protection money in order not to lose his livelihood. If he does not choose to comply with paying her protection money, the female mafia machine prepares to go into overdrive and take him to court and get it anyway, all of it. At this stage, it is best for her to bring to his interest that it's cheaper to keep it. While married to her, he pays monies to be able to interact with his own children, with the threat that if he does not, she can take him away in a moment's notice, or destroy the business he has built called marriage through divorce. The celebrity wife values material gains more than her husband ever will. In fact, she will leave him if he loses the capacity to earn more money in the future, which is in direct conflict of the pledge she made to enter the marriage. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part. Now, in these following celebrity shakedown examples I give you, they all begin with most expensive wedding rings and most ended with the most expensive divorces. So at least they have something in comparison, right? Here are the world's 10 most expensive wedding rings as stated by L'Oreal. Coming in at number 10 is Jennifer Garner with a ring presented to her by Ben Affleck, worth $500,000. It's a chunky diamond solitaire and a platinum setting. Of course, the marriage ultimately didn't last. What in Hollywood does? But what a hell of a payout if she ever decided to sell that ring, right? Ninth place seems Ben Affleck received mention number 2, this time with a stunning ring given to Jennifer Lopez. Now, they announced their engagement with a ring designed by the famous Harry Winston, featuring a 1.6 carat of light pink diamond. That, my friends, is expensive. Cost $1.2 million. Of course, you know that Mr. Affleck never did marry Miss Lopez. Yet, another example of a ring that she could sell at a jeweler. Actress Catherine Zeta-Jones makes it to our 8th place with a 10 carat Marquise cut diamond. This ring was given to her by husband Michael Douglas. Cost pretty cheap, $2.5 million. In 7th place, the former First Lady of America, known popularly as Jackie Kennedy Onassis. The wife of former President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, joins the list of most expensive wedding rings with a 15 carat diamond from her second husband, Aristotle Onassis. Cost $2.6 million. Their wedding took place only 5 years after the assassination of the former president. Next up, Melania Trump was presented with a stunning 15-carat emerald-cut diamond set in a platinum basket that's surrounded by a beautiful leaf design by the current U.S. President, Donald Trump. Cost, $3 million. Next up, Jennifer Lopez receives a second mention too, with the engagement ring she received from ex-husband Mark Anthony. So each time we go down this list, it's getting more and more expensive, right? This was a beautiful 5-carat light blue diamond designed by jeweler Neil Lane. Cost, $4 million. Grace Kelly of Monaco was given a stunning 10.47 emerald-cut diamond flanked by 2 large backlit diamonds for a marriage to Prince Rainier of Monaco. This ring was renowned by French jeweler Cartier, and it still looks fabulous 50 years later. Cost, $4.6 million. Paris Hilton was the owner of one of the world's most expensive engagement rings, a 24-carat diamond solitaire flanked by 2 more large diamonds. The engagement didn't last, what Hollywood does. Moving on, Jay-Z picked an 18-carat flawless diamond that is set in a platinum in an octagon cut to Beyonce. The quality of diamond is extremely high, so much so that it's been officially certified as a premium and exceptional stone. Cost, $5 million. The queen of expensive jewelers, Elizabeth Taylor, takes the title for the world's most expensive engagement ring, a piece that was given to her by Richard Burton. The Asher-cut Krupp 33.19-carat diamond is one of the world's largest in private ownership. The diamond is considered exceptional, with high clarity and chemically pure. It was auctioned off after her death and is currently owned by an anonymous Asian collector. Cost, $8.8 million. So you can't have an expensive ring without an expensive wedding, right? The two go hand in hand. So let's move on now to fleecing of men to the world's most expensive weddings, which come to us from Finances Online. Number 10, music songstress Christina Aguilera and music label executive George Bratton got married in 2005. The wedding cost $2.10 million. The couple divorced 5 years later. Coming in at number 9, British model actress Elizabeth Hurley. She tied a knot with Indian businessman Arun Nayar twice. The first was in 2007, which was held at Sudley Castle in England. The second time was at the Umad Bhawan Palace in Jaipur, which was done in accordance with his Hindu tradition. The couple even flew in Elton John to perform. Amazing. The wedding cost $2.6 million. 4 years later, the couple split right after the images of Elizabeth Hurley kissing Australian cricketer Shane Warne. Next up, music legend Paul McCartney and entrepreneur Heather Mills got hitched in 2002 at the castle in Ireland. The ceremony that was attended by 300 guests, who then had to put up with a vegetarian menu at the lavish reception that followed. The wedding cost $3.6 million. The marriage did not last as long as the couple split 4 years later. The worst thing is that the divorce was costlier than the wedding itself, with McCartney ordered by the court system to pay Mills around $27 million as a one-time off payment and another $13 million in assets. Now, moving right along, our next wedding increasing in price, $8 million. Football Wayne Rooney of the Manchester United and Colleen McLaughlin made their vows at Abbey of Savara in Genoa in Italy, 2008. Our next wedding cost $66 million. Venetia Mattel is the daughter of Lakshmi Mattel, one of the richest men in the world. Now, surprisingly, her wedding to Amitabh Bhatti is one of the most extravagant ever. The wedding was held in a historic 17th century chateau in Verneuil in Paris. This was back in 2004. An engagement ceremony prior to the wedding took place at the Palace of Versailles. That is expensive in itself. International recording artist and actress Kylie Minogue was paid $330,000 to perform for just a half an hour, after which a fireworks display was launched from the Eiffel Tower, if you can believe it. The marriage did not last as the couple called it quits in early 2013. Our last wedding cost $110 million. Though their wedding took place decades ago, no other wedding has cost more or come close to Prince Charles and Princess Diana. It was witnessed personally by 3,500 people and broadcast to 750 million TV viewers worldwide. The royal wedding between Prince Charles and Princess Diana in 1991 is simply the most expensive wedding ever. Princess Diana's wedding gown was covered in 10,000 pearls and a hand-carried 25-foot train. She was chauffeured in a glass coach from her place to the cathedral. However, the marriage suffered greatly as both Charles and Diana participated in flirtations with other people. The royal couple divorced in 1996, a year before Diana met her tragic end in a car crash, along with her lover, Egyptian business owner Dodi Fayed. So, this shakedown doesn't merely stop after the marriage is over, but it picks up steam. It is said that most marriage arguments and disillusionments are money-driven and mainly by women. They're concerned about money. In this mode, the wife roughs up her mark for money and bribes any time she likes to increase the protection money she is charging him. Her attorney is used to dissolve the marriage as part of the shakedown, because after all, it is legal agreement from the beginning of the marriage to the end of the marriage. Lies will be told about her husband in order to get her strongmen to fleece him of his cash and assets. They'll rough him up a little bit if they have to. While I'm on the subject, let us take a look at the world's most expensive divorces. Bob Johnson, the founder of BET, Black Entertainment Television, and Sheila Crump Johnson in the year 2000. The couple became the first African-American billionaires. And when the couple divorced, 2 years later, after making that kind of money, Sheila Johnson walked away with $400 million. In a twist of fate, Sheila later married the judge who presided over the damn case. That's amazing. Next up, we come to actor. The nearly $500 million settlement between actor Mel Gibson and Robin Moore remains the largest in Hollywood divorce payout in history. Total. Next up, cell phone industry pioneer Craig McCaw and newspaper publisher Wendy McCaw amicably divorced in 1997, with the settlement estimated to exceed $460 million in Nextel stock. Our next marriage disillusionment is between Alana, who filed divorce from a Russian businessman, Dmitry Roblev, and cited his serial infidelity, saying he used to share his young conquest with his friends and other oligarchs. Amazing, but it happens. The courts initially awarded Alania a whopping $4.5 billion in a settlement in 2014. But after an appeal, she walked away with only $604 million. In 1961, Saudi Arabian arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi married a 20-year-old British woman named Sandra Dali, who converted to Islam and changed her name to Soraya. According to the Times, at the height of their wealth, the couple owned 17 homes, 3 private planes, and 3 yachts. The couple divorced in 1974, and the settlement totaled a then record $874 $2 billion in today's money. Next, we come to the bitter divorce proceedings between oil magnate Harold Hamm and his wife Sue Arnell. Now, when it ended, Hamm writing her a massive $974 million check. Arnell didn't immediately cash the check amid a multi-year court battle for a larger settlement. So in short, she was going to hold out for more money. But ultimately, she deposited in 2015. Next up, Las Vegas casino bigwig Steve and Elaine Wynn were married to each other not once, but twice, from 1963 to 1986, and from 1991 to 2010. Their second divorce is said to be one of the most expensive of all time. Although details have been kept under wraps, the settlement is estimated at $1 billion. Next, Formula One executive Bernie Ecclestone, one of the richest people in the United Kingdom. What happened when he divorced Croatian model? He was reported in 2009 to give her this. Hold up, it's coming. The settlement was estimated at $1.2 billion. Next, media mogul Rupert Murdoch and journalist Maria Torv were married for 31 years and had 3 children together, but the couple had diverging plans for when Murdoch would retire, and they agreed to an amicable separation in 1998. You might have seen this in the news. Details of separation are sparse, but Torv is rumored to have received $1.7 billion. Both parties seem to have moved on quickly, though, after divorce. Couldn't wait around. Murdoch married Wendy Ding 17 days after the divorce, while Torv married William Mann 6 months after. The cause-if-known divorce occurred in 1999 when French-American businessman and art dealer Alec Wildstein divorced his wife of over 21 years. Now, Joyce and Wildstein, the high-profile divorce proceedings resulted in Joyce being awarded $2.5 billion and $100 million for each of the next 13 years for a jaw-dropping total of $3.8 billion. That's about $5.7 billion in today's money. Finally, in the payout divorce department, we come to Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos, who announced he and his wife Mackenzie decided upon a divorce agreement. So, with Jeff Bezos keeping 75% of the company's stock, Mackenzie Bezos gave up all interest to the Washington Post, which they own, and spaceflight venture, which is called Blue Origin. So Jeff will have voting control over the Amazon shares she retains. Her stake is estimated to be worth, are you ready? More than $35 billion at current prices. So this is amazing. The great payout, you can call it. But after the divorce, she made her way into the most richest woman in the world. For MNN, this is Charles Rivers telling you, watch out when you get rich. Half your wealth may go right out the door, and what's not left will be taken. You guys have a great day. We hope to see you tomorrow. Come back and see us.